I decided to give up alcohol for 30 days, not because I would consider myself a problem drinker or because I think that I abuse alcohol, but because I definitely see the effects of alcohol on my life in terms of my physical and mental health. I don't see alcohol as affecting my relationships necessarily in a negative way, but I guess I could say my relationship with myself. I get really bad hangovers, and I feel quite mentally affected in a negative way the day after drinking. So I was losing a lot of time, losing a lot of energy, losing a lot of sleep to this substance. So I decided, let's try 30 days without it. Was it more challenging than I expected? Yes. I thought that it was going to be easy. I went into it a little bit cocky, you could say. Um, I didn't expect how much I would want to drink. Not how much I would want to necessarily get drunk or get impaired, but just the act of having a glass of wine in the evening or having a beer with my meal, I really missed. Um, and then, of course, the social aspect, right? Drinking is such a social activity, things that you do with your friends or your family, that going to events, going to meetups with friends where everybody else was drinking, everybody else was engaging with alcohol and withholding was actually quite difficult. I am 100% glad that I did it. It's actually led me to consider moving toward giving up alcohol altogether. Um, during the 30 days that I wasn't drinking, I was so productive. I slept great. I felt like every single day, at the end of the day, I could look back and see something that I had accomplished, which I've recognized is just not something that I can say when I drink. Even if I have, let's say, a glass of wine, 2 glasses of wine in an evening, the next day I can feel the effects of that. I feel a little bit slower. I feel a little bit groggier. And so going forward, I'm definitely uh, slowing down my alcohol consumption.
Well, Alayna, this is a question I will be very happy to answer and quite candidly. Um, I do read about these World Health Organization shit coming out about, using 2 or 3 units of alcohol a day and you say you're an alcoholic. And it's usually about 3 for women and maybe 2 extra for men, and then you're an alcoholic. And then I reflect on my own situation. So on a Monday night, I will have 2 pints because I don't work Monday and I work Tuesday. And I face into another week because I'm so haggard after a week of constant drinking. I'll have 2 pints on a Monday. And then on Tuesday night, because my first day of work is over me, I'll take an extra pint. I'll have 3 more pints. A Guinness. I drink Guinness only, and sometimes whiskey. Um, Another 3 or 4 on Wednesday. Another 4 on Thursday. 5 tonight, actually. This is the Thursday night. Actually, sorry, I had 6. And Friday night, I'll have another 4, maybe. Saturday, then I go on the tear altogether. I'll have 8 or 9 and 2 or 3 whiskies. And Sunday, then I'll only usually be fit for 3 or 4, unless the crack is good or the fun is good, and I'll have another 2 or 3. So, in average, I work out that I spend about 110 or 120 euros a week drinking, which is a serious amount of money. Because usually you get caught by other fucking loafers who will want a drink, and when you're merry and generous, you'll buy them a drink, and they'll be your friend, and they'll sit down beside you and talk shit. So let's see. 2 on a Monday, 3 on a Tuesday is 5, 4, 3 on a Wednesday is 8, 4 or 5 on a Thursday is 13, another 4 or 5 on a Friday, 18, and then about 7 or 8 on a Saturday. 25 pints, and we'll say 3 or 4 or 5 whiskies thrown in a good measure. They all work out at €4 a pop, about €120. So I do have an alcohol problem, but I am a functioning alcoholic. It's 4 in the morning now in Ireland. I have to be in work at 11, so I'll be up at about 10 to 10. I will get up. I will feel a little bit dodgy. I'll have a shower and take 2-3 pints of water, and in I go to work. Cup of tea and something to fortify the stomach or settle it, as the case may be. And I will manage the day. And then I'm working till 7. So at 9 o'clock then I'm going to play music. So I will have another 4 or 5 pints. And I do try and say, right, you'll only have 1 tonight. Maybe 2. I can never do that. It always has to be 2 and then or 1 more. 3, 4 and then 5. Someone will buy you the last pint and you'll be the same story again. I've never given up alcohol for more than 8 days. I'm 33 now, and I've been drinking since I was 18, solid. It does leave you depressed sometimes during the week, but it's an artificial depression, because I do know if I stayed off the drink, it would go away, because I'm generally very resilient mentally and upbeat most of the time, though I am a realist. And I notice these things, so it can leave you down. Yeah. The worst thing is the sweats. You wake up in a puddle of your own sweat in the bed, and you have to go and change your sheets because the fucking thing is destroyed. I hate that, and I hate the horrors when I dream and you've rats clawing at your fucking legs and biting you. It's always fucking rats. I don't know why, but they are the animals that seem to dig deepest into your flesh and into your soul when you overstep the mark and you go too far. But it's so easy to have a drink, and if I don't have a drink, I crave it. But I am managing to hold down a job and combine my life of alcoholism. It's not alcoholism. I don't think it is, because if I really wanted to, I could give it up. It's like giving up cigarettes. The first week, the craving will be intense. But I do have the will if I need to. But as yet, I don't need to give it up. The only idea which is pressing on me more now is the amount of money I spend. About 6,000-7,000 a year on drink in euros. It's a lot of my wages. It's over 20%. And, it's 20% of the money I get, then I get more money from playing music, and most of that goes in drink anyway. So it's a serious issue, but at the same time, I enjoy it every moment of it. So when people come on saying, "Oh, I drink like once in a month or twice a month, so I binge drink and I get sick," I laugh and I say, "Oh, for fuck's sake," I says, "you've no problem." I says, "I've the problem because I'm drinking all the fucking time. Nearly every night, about 6 nights of the week, I'm drinking." And so there you have it. Bottle of wine twice a week, 2 bottles of wine, to me, wouldn't be an issue. But when you're at it all the time, it does wither the body, wither the flesh. But I am seriously considering turning a new leaf. Now that I'm the same age as our Lord when he was crucified. Sorry, that was a slip of the tongue. Same age as Jesus now, 33. It's time maybe to follow a new pathway through life. I won't give up drink, but I certainly probably will reduce my intake. If I could bring it down to about 50 or 60 euros a week, that would be acceptable. And we'll have to sit down and look at our budget and see what I can drink. When I was in school, I started drinking at 18. You can drink in this country at 18. I was still in high school, as you call it over there. So I had a year and a half to go, and I used to only drink on a Saturday night. or a Friday, but never 2 nights in a row. And I go to school all week then and do my study, and I wouldn't touch a drop until the weekend. And that was a perfect blend, a perfect balance. I used to only have 4 cans of Budweiser at that time. No, sorry, 4 pints of Guinness and 2 cans of Budweiser when I went to the nightclub. It was a real kipper place. That's why they only sold cans of Budweiser. But, that was manageable. 1 night a week, 6 drinks, 25 quid. If I could get it back to that now, I would be most grateful. But I don't think that is nearly possible. And I don't, I'm a realist and I'm not a fantasist, so that will never happen. But if I could cut my intake in half, I would be absolutely delighted. But your question about having trouble with alcohol, how much do you drink? And do you actually drink too much? Too much for your own body to handle? Or maybe you don't drink too much, or maybe you just have an issue about being worried or paranoid about how much you actually drink when maybe it's doing no harm to you at all. So it depends on how much intake you have, and your size, and your weight, and everything else. There's a lot of factors that can make you an alcoholic or not. And of course, the amount of money you're spending on it is another issue. So there's my take on it. I'm an alcoholic, functioning and happy. But I do know I have to turn a corner, a hard corner soon, or it'll be too late.
Record your single finger.
I haven't been on here in ages, but I've seen your question and it really interested me. I gave up alcohol now about 5 years ago. Same as you, it was like I couldn't do the hangovers anymore. And tried being from Ireland and giving up alcohol. It was quite difficult. I would have been unfriended by people. They seen me as a sad and pathetic for giving up the drink. I would have went to some social events and stuff, and I would have had a Coke or Fanta or something on those lines. But then I stopped getting asked to stuff because people didn't kind of feel comfortable. I can't drink when you're not drinking, that sort of patheticness. But I do agree. I do agree with the no more muzzy, fuzzy, wuzzy head on me. I'm also able to save a lot of money. I don't notice that I'm saving money, but I am saving money. Like I'm able to buy some luxury items. Just because I'm no longer drinking. But yeah, very, very, very interesting post.
Single finger double tap to record your answer to the question from Alayna Fender. Single finger double tap to stop. Button.